turn one. One. Hi, welcome to EliteYoga. We are doing a live streaming session today, and these are essential exercises and stretches based on yoga practice that you really need to know to balance your body with riding and to be your healthiest self. So I'm Clare, your instructor. We're going to start on your back, and something I used to do dancing, that was my sport, professional dance, is to bend your knees and what we call in Pilates, imprint your lower spine by rolling your hips towards your ribs and then drawing in the muscles from the tail all the way through your sternum, pulling in and up all of those muscles. And then place your head in your hands. And we're going to roll your upper back off the floor. So you're flexing your upper back. And then you're going to lift up both knees. And we're going to stretch your right leg forward. And then stretch your left leg forward. And with your knees pointing up. And stretch. Reach through your big toe. And stretch. And pulling in your navel. And stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then place your head down on the floor. Relax your pelvis to this neutral position, so you've got a space between your lower back and the mat. And then we're going to cross your right foot above your left knee. And keeping your pelvis level, rotating the right knee towards the front of the mat. And lifting the muscles from the tail to the navel, in and up. So pressing the right knee forward, stretching your piriformis on the right side, your right piriformis. And then we're going to pick up the left foot off the floor and holding the back of the knee or the front of the shin. Opening your shoulders, throwing your left knee in and pressing your right knee forward. And then we're going to place your foot down on the floor and your arms out to the side, turning your pelvis to the left, keeping the backs of the shoulders down on the floor. So pressing your right knee forward. And if you get all the way, just lightly press down your right big toe and open the knee towards the front of the mat. This is stretching through your piriformis, which is deep within your right glutes. And then come on back, placing your foot back down on the mat, and then crossing your left foot above your right knee, and keeping your pelvis level, rotating the left knee towards the front of the mat, drawing your toes up, opening your shoulders, and then we're going to pick up your right foot, holding through the back behind your knee on the right side. So pressing your left knee forward, open your shoulders, drawing your right knee in towards your chest. And notice which side from right to left is tighter at the moment. So always trying to strive for getting balance in your posture. Okay, place your right foot down and the arms out to the side. Turn your pelvis to the right. Pressing down your left big toe if you get all the way, and pressing the left knee forward to the front of the mat. Now come on back, and we're going to stretch your left leg down, pick up your right knee, put your left hand on the outside of the knee, and turn your pelvis to the left. Your right arm out to the side, drawing your shoulder blades down to your hips. And let's come on back, stretching your right leg down, legs together, then pick up your left knee, right hand on the outside of the left knee, turning your pelvis and lower back to the right, and keeping the back of the left shoulder down on the floor. Coming back. Okay, now we're going to place your right foot in the strap, and you're going to stretch your left leg down. Stretching your sit bones down towards the front of the mat, opening your toes, open your shoulders, and pressing your right big toe, the ball of your big toe, a little bit further away than the other toes. Engaging your left glutes, stretching up through the crown of your head and down through your sit bones. So these hip exercises are very important for you to learn, and make sure as you go you're not bending your knee. Okay, so we're now releasing your hamstrings. You show that sciatic nerve also runs through hamstrings, so it can be the cause of some minor back discomfort or pain or radiating down your leg. Taking the strap in the right hand and rotating the leg out to the side. Now stretching through your inner thighs and your inner hamstring as well. It's also important for your sciatic nerve. And reach through your big toe. And so you feel like you have elastic inner thighs. Control the stretch. Sit bones down to the front of the mat. And then come on back and lower your leg to the height of the hip, or a little bit less if that's too much. Turn the leg in, take it across the strap in the left hand, and we'll add a lower back and pelvis rotation. Now we're stretching all the way down the side of your leg. So any kind of kinks in your hip, your knee, or your ankle, this will take care of a lot of that. These three stretches. And coming back. So we're stretching the muscles that run from your sit bone to your shin bone, and then your hamstring muscles. Spreading your toes. That's why your sit bones have to stretch down to the front of the mat. So you're stretching, you create a longer distance over time from the sit bone to the shin. So there are three hamstring muscles, and they are, besides your sciatic nerve running through, running down the hamstring, you also have, obviously because they cross the knee, it affects the way your back of your knee functions. And because that crosses there and the calf muscles, it will actually affect your Achilles and your ankle placement. Then we go out to the side, so strap in the left hand, rotating your hip out. And now for the inner leg, and these five inner thigh muscles, two of them are just up the top here. And when you do a lot of speed, those ones get very tight. But also, again, controlling the inside of your knee and the inside of your ankle and foot. And come on back. Lower your leg to the height of the hip or less. Roll your leg in. Okay, so rolling your lower back as well and your pelvis to the right. Now we're stretching down the outside of the leg. So we've done the back of the leg, the inside and the outside now. This is why it's very balanced and very important. And look, the main thing that creates a lot of stiffness in your body is the muscles attached to tendons and the tendons attached to your bones. And when muscles contract all the time in the same range of motion, like when you're riding a bike and you've always got a bent knee, because it would be, that's how you ride a bike, and you don't want to have your leg fully extended. That would be terrible for your knee. So in that action, you're always going to bunch up your thigh muscles over and over again. And that contraction over time will create a tightness in not just the muscles, but the tendons that connect to the bone. So if you don't have stretches in place, correct ones, then not only will your thighs get very developed, but the tendons will become very stiff. And the more you do and the older you get, the stiffer your knees will get and your hips and your ankles. Okay, come on up. So now we're going to stretch your left leg forward and we're going to bend your right knee out to the side. And this, make sure you don't have a pinch in the knee. So if you feel a pinch in the knee, take the foot more forward so it's lower on your leg. Even down here, I've had some football players and then they've had knee injuries and they can only do down here, and that's fine. You're still opening up your hip, and that's, you're creating the best posture you can with what you got. Okay, then you're going to grab your strap, put it around the ball of your left foot, and you're going to gently open this right knee down to the floor, and you're going to now think about your hip bones rolling forwards. And that's the same experience as your sit bones rolling back. Okay? Now your sternum reaches up and forward. Okay? And so you can have the strap helps you to have the right action in the foot, which is to press forward without changing the look of the foot. So it's energy, it's force. It has as if you are pressing forward into the strap, and it gives you the right action. And so eventually you actually have your wrist like this, and you are pressing your sit bones gently back, reaching your sternum forwards towards your foot. And this is very different from what I see people do very incorrectly, is to do this kind of a thing around your back. And look, I'd probably hurt myself, honestly, if I did that. So the main thing is your back is in the opposite position. If you see my back, it is actually working. My back muscles are working because I'm pressing my sit bones back. I'm not rounding my upper back. We did that when we did the abdominal exercise in the beginning, okay? So stretching your right leg forward, they're different movements of your body. And often people are doing the wrong movements. They're doing a movement of flexion and extension, but they're doing the wrong posture, the wrong exercise, the wrong posture. Okay, so left knee is now turned out to the side. You've got the strap, you put it around the ball of your right foot. And your sit bones are rolling back again. So what you're stretching on this right side is the back of your right leg. So remember we said that the sit bone, the hamstrings touch your sit bone's going that way, and your knee is staying where it is, so therefore your hamstrings are lengthening. Okay, and then remember that that's that right action in this right foot, and then you're turning that left knee out. Stretching your sternum towards your foot. Okay, we're going to carefully come up. Now, we're going to stretch your left leg forward again, and then you're going to put your right knee behind your hip a little. You're going to turn your body to the right, And you're going to place your left hand or elbow inside of elbow. Or lastly, if you can, you take your left big toe with your left hand. And then you're going to reach up and over the top. And you're going to rotate your chest to the ceiling. And this is a great one for inner hamstrings. And through your lat tricep line. And this one, your right bum does lift off the floor. And then lower your arm and gently come up. And then you're going to stretch your right leg forward and place your left knee behind slightly. Okay, and then your pelvis, your shoulders now rotated to this left side. Place your hand or the inside of the elbow or the inside of the foot. This arm up and over. Turn to the left. Lower your arm. Carefully come up and stretch the leg forward. Then we are going to bend both knees and place the soles of your feet together. Getting up on the block if you can't sit up with a straight back. And then pressing down your sit bones, that's the base of your pelvis, and we know your hamstrings attached to them. You're going to open your knees. So it's important that you press down your sit bones. They're called the roots of the pose here, and you are rotating your thighs out. This pose is called Baddha, meaning bound angle pose. Now, if you have one knee that's higher than the other, you've got to lower just that knee until you get them both equal. Okay, that's really important. Then, once you've worked to get them equal, you lower them both. That's it. Okay, then bringing your knees in, stretching the right leg down, and we're going to put this left foot a hip width apart today. And you're going to place your left hand around your lower back, pressing down both sit bones. We're going to rotate your upper back and neck to the left, opening your shoulders. And looking forward, stretching your left leg down, bending your right knee, placing it a hip width apart. Then, right hand behind your lower back, open your shoulders, pressing down on your sit bones, turning to the right. So now we've done our lower back rotations. Now we're doing your upper back and neck. The whole spine has been freed. Looking forward. Okay, now we're going to cross your legs, right leg in front of the left, or right on top of left in this double pigeon. Then you're going to pull back your toes, and for the moment we're just going to put your right hand on top of the knee and just gently, really gently feel its action of turning the knee out. And that is moving down, out and down. Okay, and this out and down action is helping you stretch your piriformis muscle again and your other glutes. And it is actually a bit more than that, your other rotating muscles, keep rotating muscles. Then we're going to put your hand down, stretching to the left, your palm facing down, and come up through the middle, and stretching to the right. And come up in the middle, and you're going to take your right hand up, your hands together, grab the strap between your hands if you can't reach. Keeping your right shoulder back. Open your left shoulder back. And now we're stretching, freeing up this left rotator cuff and stretching your right tricep and lats. Shoulder blade moving down. And then release your arms. And you're going to roll your hips forwards like we did with the strap earlier. So it's the same as pressing your sit bones back. And that will really increase the outer stretch in your piriformis and outer hip muscles. Glutes. And pressing your sit bones down to come up. Upper leg in front or on top. Okay, and just gently pressing the left knee down. You can notice from which one side to the other which is tighter. And you're working to get it the same. So I think the main thing that you get out of doing this sort of work is to, you get niggles all the time if you're doing sports. And to be able to do a lot of things yourself and to then be your best the next day and just take care of it is priceless, So I was dancing around the world and I was able to, manage things on my own, and then here and there if I had a major injury, like some other, not physio, actually acupuncturist, I was able to do all the physical work to repair what I'd injured on my own, and I also had some brilliant people for treatment. Let's go to the left again. So having the know of what to do to get back the function of whatever you've injured, but also hopefully, and you haven't been a professional athlete, that you just want to get, feel the best that you can and improve what you're doing, and also just, be able to do things in everyday life easily. Bending over, picking stuff up, not worry about it. Left hand, left elbow up. I've had a really young sports player say to me, I hurt myself putting my shoes, and that's like, that's from doing a lot of the same thing over and over again, kicking balls and stuff. Dancing has its own injuries. And release, rolling your pelvis forwards. So every sport, there's wonderful benefits, but if all you're doing is a sport, you will at some point have limitations and you won't have learned what to do. That's the other thing. So either you live with pain or you learn how to get rid of it, but also there'll be a limitation in your body in some way if you're constantly doing one thing over and over again. Okay, come on up. Okay, so from there, we're going to take your right leg forward into a single pigeon pose. So what we just did was a double pigeon. So this leg in front is going to be in that same position, and now your left foot presses down, and you must have your left hip pointing towards the floor. And it's as if you have your right hand, your hand on this right knee, pressing it down, opening it out. Turn on the left glute, so you can squeeze your left bottom to open up your right, to open up the left psoas. So often opposing muscles are engaged in order to align the opposite muscles. Okay, so the glutes right now are engaged to align and lengthen these left psoas muscles. Okay, roll your knee. Let's do the other side. So now have your left leg in front. So by now, we've really been killing the layers of your glutes and piriformis, so you should feel really quite free after this there. In the back of your hip, press down the top of your right foot with the hip pointing down. Right glutes are engaged to align and lengthen your right sides. And lower your knee. Carefully come off your hip. Okay, so now we're going to do a long groin stretch. And you're going to go as far as you can with your legs. Your knees are going to point to the ceiling. And you're going to lightly press your heels down. And as if you had straps around the balls of your feet, you're going to have that feeling of pressing away through the big toenails, and that engages your inner thighs. Helps you pull up your kneecaps. So it's important to pull up your kneecaps. That allows your hamstrings to lengthen, your inner hamstrings. Okay. So this is the full range now of your inner thigh muscles. And then relax your legs in. And we're going to come down on your front. So lying on your front, taking your right foot. Okay, so your hip bones are down and lightly press them down and lightly engage your glutes. They're going to help support and align one of your quads is hip flexor. So with your hip down, your knee down there, we're stretching all four quads. Now, see if you can increase the stretch by coming up on your elbow and then drawing the heel towards the outside of your hip. So if you do this one, engage your glutes a bit more now. You can keep your toes tucked or you can put down the top of your foot, both is fine. Hand is on the top of the foot, helping you move down towards your hip. And other side. So let's bend your left knee. Okay, hips down first. Engaging glutes. And coming up to your elbow. And pressing gently the heel towards your hip. Okay, releasing that. Okay, coming up to your knees. Okay, so now we're going to place your hands and shoulder width apart and your knees are hip width apart. We're going to tuck your toes to start stretching your toes. You're going to round your back, arching your back up, soft elbows, open your shoulders, lift your sternum up into your back, pulling in your abdominal wall from the tail to the sternum. Pressing down lightly your hands. And then you're going to roll your pelvis to the ceiling, bringing your chest forwards and upwards. Still opening your shoulders. And then rounding your back again. So tail down and under and up to your sternum. And then moving the sit bones up to the ceiling and your sternum forwards and upwards. And then one more rounding your pelvis under, lifting your sternum up into your back. And then crown of the head forwards, sternum forwards and upwards, lifting your sternum And come back through neutral spine. Lifting your hips up and back now to downward dog. Opening your shoulders, rounding your shoulder blades down and forward. Big step forward with your right foot, and this is now a long lunge. So you're going to have your second toe facing forward, opening your left toes, glutes engaged, pelvis coming down and under now. And then lower your back knee, and lifting your chest. Still having your pelvis down and under. Glutes engaged to open up your sides and your other hip flexors. When you keep your left toes tucked for the moment. And then your hands down and back to downward dog. And other side. Left foot forward. Hips coming down and under. Left knee on top of your ankle. And then lower your knee. And again, your hips still coming down and under. Glutes together. Keeping the muscles in from the tail to the navel. Stretching your right sides and hip flexors. So the front of the hip, side, the back, both sides. And one more downward dog. Lifting up and back. And lower your knees. Thank you very much. That's your session today.